All right. Hey. Okay. Let's see. Good morning. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see. Okay, I see people falling in. Okay. I'm like, yo. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, but okay, good. You can hear me. Okay. Because I was like, yeah, I was starting to get some echo and I didn't know what the hell was going on. But yeah, I'm just I'll probably just do this for like 20, 30 minutes or whatever. Just uh I've been up all night working, so just trying to, figured out I would touch base with you guys. I know I haven't been streaming like I normally do. And yeah, we're trying to pack these boxes up and get all these comics shipped out. So um but I mean, hey, I'm here. Anybody have questions or just want to say hello, please do so. And all that good stuff. But yeah, so what I've been doing is yeah, just let me see. Let's see, Wendell Mac. I'm new to the page. Well, thank you, Wendell. Yeah, that is whew, yeah, we've done a lot of work. Right now what I'm doing is you know, we finished book one. This is book one right here. I'm packing these up and shipping them out to all the backers, and trying to promote book two, which is called Way of the Gun. And we've got, I think that's a pretty cool campaign. I know we're over 22,000 right now, headed towards 23, so that's a good thing. But yeah, man, it's that's one thing I will say. Hold on, let me pull this up because let me see life. Let's see. Life. What have you been up to? What the last ever since? Well, let's see. Kanan was here. What was he? He was here the second week of March. So he signed 3,900 copies of Brand, and he did a bunch of sketch covers. And we just start shipping that stuff out. Like when I put him on a plane, he went back home, and I've been trying to get everything packed up. There is no I think people forget how big Brand was. And book one, we had it's on the page. If you back book one, you can look. We had 2,488 backers. There are campaigns right now that made over $100,000 on Indiegogo, and I have 400 or 500 more backers than they did. I think people forget that, and because the price was so low on the first campaign, we only charged $15. Just on U.S. backers alone, I had over 1,700 U.S. backers, and it was just. I think people forget there are campaigns right now that have 1,700 backers, and they're like people in Canada and Australia. And I was like, just the U.S. backers, I have over 1,700 of them. And so, yeah, it's good when I've been shipping out and people are getting the books and letting people see that, hey, I am fulfilling, because I have been, I've been working my ass off trying to get these books out. It would be nice to have some elves in here. Some elves in here helping to pack all this stuff up and haul off to the post office and do all that kind of stuff. But it's just these two hands in my car, and it's kind of, it is. Yeah, I felt bad because I ended up snapping at Kanan the other day. It's like I was, I was needing, I needed him to, he was sending he's all the original art tiers. I sent out backer update a couple of days ago actually, but. I was just wanting to let the backers know that, the people that ordered the original art tiers, Kanan had all the art. So those are shipping separately. So I shipped all those, I had Kanan had to ship all those pages out. And then we had the tracking number and all that kind of thing. So I had to contact all the backers and send them the tracking numbers and all this kind of thing. And then, I worked on the sketch covers, so I've still got a couple. I think I got like 13 sketch covers I got to ship out. Been trying to pack up T-shirts now and get all this. I forgot how when you look at the shipping data, when you pull up the panel and you start realizing how many, just how many individual backers and then how many different transactions. It's like, yeah, just individual backers that have 3, 4, 5 transactions. I've got, it's over 2,200 people, and there were at least about 2,600 different transactions on the campaign. It's massive, and it's like I'm getting it though, but this is what I signed up for, and I'm getting them out. Trying to. I've got some international packages that I'm working on now. Those take a little longer because you got to fill out the duty tariff thing or whatever. Fortunately, I had to do something like that. Like 2009, my buddies, my old roommates, they were in a metal band, and they were on tour, and they had this online store, and they were having me help them run it. So like somebody could order a CD, and then they would leave all the stuff with me, and they were like, "Hey, Antonio, we'll send you the shipping money and everything. And you ship all the packages out." And I said, "Sure, I'll do that." And it was like 40 packages, and I had to go to the post, and I had like 40 packages that I had to pack. It was me and my girlfriend, actually. We were sitting there. We packed all these CDs. Some people had T-shirts and all this. I had all these packages. I had to go in there. And then I didn't know when you take the package to the thing, you had to fill out all this duty stuff and tariff, how much you had to declare the value and all this kind of thing. I didn't know that. So I was like, I showed up, and then she had to give me a stack of these things, and I had to fill out, okay, it's going to Germany. Okay, it's going to Sweden, and fill out all this, it's a T-shirt and a CD, and I had to send all that stuff out. I mean, it cost like $100 and something. And that was, like I said, that was at least 10 years ago. Trust me, it costs a lot more. I actually shipped out a package, although this was a big backer, though. I shipped out a package about 2 weeks ago, and it cost $97 to ship everything. But he was a very generous backer, so the 97, I just had to give it back. So it just was what it was. But yeah, this is what I've been up to. Let me see. Peephole Circus. Well, hey man, how are you, Peephole Circus? It is good. So, like I said, I almost just stopped streaming 100%. And I was just gonna be like, okay, if I'm, the only thing I committed to do was my wrestling podcast. I put Sexy Party on hold because it's just, when I had to stop doing this, the only reason I'm streaming right now is like, I need a break. I've been packing for hours. I was actually listening to Ethan's stream while I was sitting here packing. So Ethan was streaming for a couple of hours, and I just was like, yo, let me just do something and go. And that was, and it's always good. Because what I've been doing, and I've been listening to like audiobooks. I've been listening to like different podcasts and stuff. A lot of wrestling podcasts. Since I have a wrestling podcast, I listen to like Jim Cornette, Jim Ross, 83 Weeks, Eric Bischoff, with Talk is Jericho. I listen to all that kind of stuff. So these are the things that I listen to while I'm sitting here packing all this crap up and getting it shipped out and fooling with these T-shirts and doing all that. So this is what I'm doing, while I'm doing all that. But let me see. I see sketch. It's like you got, okay, good. Okay, so you got your package. That's awesome. I'm glad you got your package safely, Sketch. Well, the band, they were in a band. It's on Black Market Activities, Metal Blade. The band was called the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. They're on like iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that. So whatever streaming service you get your music from, they although I've heard that they've talked about doing maybe a couple of reunion shows or something, but they've been broke up for at least 5 or 6 years. My buddy Brad, he's working at a warehouse now, and like Butler is like a truck driver. He delivers pizzas or something. I mean, I'm talking about like driving to the warehouse. He was working for one of the pizza companies here, but he was like bringing their produce or whatever to him, like driving a big truck. The drummer, he's like a youth pastor, and the lead singer, he's a cop. He's Metro PD up there in Nashville and stuff. So yeah, and he's got a little daughter now and stuff. And like, I know him getting on the road in a van with a bunch of sweaty guys and stuff is like the furthest thing from his mind. Because I went to a couple shows with him, and we would all just load up in the van. They had to load all of the guitars and the amps and all that stuff up there. And we'd go up to some little dive bar up in Nashville, or we'd play some of the local clubs here in Murfreesboro and stuff. It's, it's college town here. And, we would do all that stuff. And it's, it can be, so I can imagine, like, if you got a stable home life, it's like, hey, let's do a 25 city tour. You probably not want to do that. But, I know I went to at least 10, 15 shows with those dudes. I lived with them for 3.5 years, and I got engaged to one of my fiancés. And then we moved in together with her children, and then me and her just like we were at each other. It just didn't work out. I don't know if I've tried living with a few females, and I don't know if I could be domesticated. I think they try to change me, which I should be changed, because I'm horrible to live with. I'm a horrible roommate. I think, at least from a female perspective, I think that would be, living with me would probably be the worst thing you could do. But, other than that, I pay my bills and all this, I just don't feel like, they'll be wanting to like, hey, can you take the trash out? And I was like, yeah, I'll take it out later. And like, especially my last ex, she was very adamant. Like when she say she wants the trash out, she don't mean, I'm watching the game, I'll take it out in an hour. She wants you to drop everything you're doing and take the trash out immediately. And once I figured that out, I was like, okay, if I don't want to argue, I need to put the game on pause and go take the trash out right now. She doesn't want me to sit here and watch the Titans play football. She wants me to stop what I'm doing and take the trash out immediately. She does not want to wait. If I say, yeah, I'll take it out after the game, she wants me to take it out right now. If she says, hey, are the dishes in the dishwasher, or are they still in the sink? That means she wants you to go and stop what you're doing and load it up in the dishwasher now. She doesn't, I'll get it in a minute. No. She wants you to stop. And I think I'm so stubborn in setting my ways that I'm like, yeah, I'll get it in a little bit. She wants you to do it right now. So it's just once I learned that, and some of that's kind of a drag. And baby, I'm trying to do the laundry and you don't have your clothes together. Yeah, okay. Hey, I almost start feeling like I had a mother. And I think for her, I know when we broke up, that was one of the things. It was just like, she's like, I don't have any children and I feel like you're a child or something. I have to make sure that you got all your dishes together and you've got your laundry, and then I'm cleaning, I'm picking up after you and all this kind of stuff. And you got socks here and doing this. And it was driving her crazy. And I could start towards the end there, I was like, okay, she's fucking hating my guts. She can't stand me. It's like I'm driving her out of her mind. It's like, and it wasn't fun for her anymore. And at that point, I was like, okay. After I've 45, I've been in a few relationships. I could start to it wasn't a surprise when I saw her. There was a moment where it was like one of the last conversations I had with her, and she just goes, okay, fuck it. And she just got up and started packing her shit right there. I mean, I was laying in the bed and she just got up and just said, the hell with it. She turned the light on and just said, fuck it, and just started packing all her stuff. And she was leaving. And that was just what it was. And she was like, I was like, is there something you want to tell me? And she goes, yeah, I talked to my mom. I'm moving out. I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, were you just gonna leave? She was waiting on me to leave, and I took some personal time, and I was still working at Amazon then, and I took some personal time, and I decided not to go to work that day. She was waiting on me to go to work so that she could pack and leave. And then when she said, "You're gonna be late," I said, "No, I took the day off. I wanted to hang with you, And she goes, "Okay." And then, so at that point, uh, that is what she was like, okay, man. I was just gonna let you come home and see all my shit gone, but I guess I'll just pack my shit up while you're here and just talk to you. And at that point, I was like, oh man, I like I said, at that point, I kind of knew, I kind of knew that it was over. So let me see what's going on in the chat. Okay. So good morning, sir. Got bread last week. Good stuff. Looking forward to the next one. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Eddie. I'm glad. God, let's see. Let me see. Man, and lunacy, conflict structure, wherever they like. I don't know. I'm assuming that's a part of a joke or something. I don't know. Let's see. I just have a maid clean everything once a week. I fired the last one though, so I've been having to do everything on my own. Usually it sucks. Yeah. I like I said, actually last year I was good. There was a couple people, I guess because they started saying the economy was going bad, and I started seeing like one of my exes, she started cleaning houses. She was putting ads up on Facebook like, hey, if anyone needs their house cleaned, I'll do it. I'll give you 2 hours for $100 or something. He's like, you pay me $100, I'll give you 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever. She said, I will clean the bed, because I saw some people saying they wouldn't clean bathroom. It was like, I will clean your house, but I won't do the bathroom. You have to clean your own bathroom. And I'm like, if I bring the maid in, she hitting everything. You're not gonna tell me what you are and what, especially if I gotta pay you. It's like, if you're doing it, not like you're doing it for free. And so yeah, you're gonna scrub the toilet. I'm sorry. You're gonna get in there and scrub the toilet too. I know you don't want to, but this is what what it is. So let me see. So war campaign is internet gay. Are we now confiscating no homo? I don't know. I was like, I was like, let's see, zombie family. Oh, well, hello. All right, so let's see. The Kari Press morning show, make it a reg. Boogie, I don't know if I had it. Like I said, I just knew I hadn't streamed in a while, and I just I was like, let me take a breather, because like I've been up staring at these boxes. I'm sick of it, and I was like, okay, let me take a break. Let me talk to the people, see what y'all doing. See what y'all working with on this Good Friday morning while I get this next shipment together. And I figured I would do that, but I love streaming. It just takes time. You have to set everything up, and hopefully people show up. You never know. So let me see. Sketch there. I don't pay by hour. I pay by the task. I don't care how long a person takes. Is there laws of time? No one gets paid till it's clean. Well, the ones that are around here, because like I said, there's a lot of these ads, like still Craigslist and all this kind of thing. They'll let you know. They'll be like, okay, the one friend of mine that I used to work with, she'll say it's $50 an hour, and you have to book at least 2 hours. So it's that kind of thing. So I mean, they're there, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the that was one of the problems I had with my ex. She just like I said, she felt like she said, you just want me to be a maid that has sex with you. And so that's what she felt like. She was like, she said, yeah, she's like, you just want a maid. And I was like, no, I want a companion. But I started thinking about it. I was like, she don't like the same shit I like. I don't like the shit she likes. And then she cleans, and she was real anal about keeping everything clean. And, it was that kind of thing. So it got real it got real weird. So I don't know. Let me see. So Peephole Circus, what you talking about in here? Let me get you. Let me see. I'm very happy this afternoon. I got some prints delivered for my book, chilling and working. Okay, yeah, you are working on the book. That's awesome. So I'm sure Comicscape will fall behind you and promote it. Let me see. Let's see. It's the price, the lines, it's all good. Well, like I said, it's I negotiate everything right up and let you know what it is. But that's the thing. I'm not. I got some dishes in the sink now that I need to load up. I need to do all this stuff. I got to do laundry. I got to do all this stuff, and then I'm sitting here still packing these comics. So I'm sitting there, but I've got about half of the next shipment ready, and I need to maybe add another 100 or so to the outgoing, and then once I do that, I'll load it up and take it out. So, whew. Let's see. What about hello? All right, and boom. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind a happy ending either. I don't. Let's see. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm lazy, so I don't judge. Let's see. Save money. Ski move on. I don't know. I was like, okay. Let's see. I need my well. Okay, well, I definitely want to get you your comic. Maybe I can slide you into this next outgoing shipment if you would send me a DM or send me an email with your backer number. Because, like I said, I am preparing the next shipment, so let's just hit me up. So my DMs are open. Send me a message. Let me know what your backer number is, and I'll look you up and see can I get you out there. Let's see. You're a workman. Yeah. Well, it's like I got all this stuff going on, and then I've got to add stuff to the campaign because it's like I got these. I've shown these a couple times. I got these in from Manasseh Johnson, and let me see. Well, so I got these. We kind of, did this theme where we were doing like brand the movie, like who would I cast as different people. So that's Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. I had her cast as Dawn Craven, and then I did Peter Dinklage that played Tyrion Lannister. He's Tobias Stone. So those of you that have read Brand, either the physical copy or the digital, you will know these characters. So I got the wrestler Bill Goldberg, and he is Lionel Solomon. Let me see. And then one of my favorites here. I had to get Snoop Dogg to play Fame. Boom. So yeah, Snoop Dogg play Fame. And then we had to do the obligatory Dark Santana cover. So yeah. So Dark Santana, look at those eyes. Love that. So yeah, he killed that. And so let me see. Let me see. Well, let's see. Hold on. Let me get, because like I said, I don't mind throwing some, since I'm putting them together anyway. Let me see, like I said, Gonzo the Gray, hopefully I'm in there. You rock. Well, thank you, guys. Like I said, send me a message, send me a DM while I'm putting this shipment together. I'll try to throw you in there. I got a couple people that messaged me last night, and I'm packing and throwing them in there. I don't mind doing that. Just like I said, I just got to know who you are because everybody's got to, it's like Super Cheese 87, and I was like, I don't know who that is, but if you send me a DM and give me your backer number, then I can look you up and I can, I can hook it up. So, but yeah, send me while I'm putting this shipment together. Might as well. But let's see. Yeah, Critical Kaiju, Tyson versus Jericho. Yeah, I gotta be honest, that didn't really excite me. Let's see. It's like, that whole thing. Mike Tyson at AEW is not exciting me right now. I gotta be honest about it. He was at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and then the camera hit him, and he was like, He's sitting there yawning. I fell asleep during the stream. It was crazy. We had fun though. Shout out to the boys of the Wrestling Council and and all that kind of thing. So let me see. In the next brand comic, give your character that beard that you have now. We need. So, I actually did want to talk to Kanan about doing something like that because we started 5 years in the past, so I want to kind of move it forward. But at the same point in time, I kind of want the clean shaven, at least, especially like when he morphs. I want him to have more of a clean shaven look. But it would be kind of cool to kind of have David look like this now. You see, look great in the beard and all that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. That I'm hearing you and playing Halo Wars 2. Man, yeah, Manasseh killed these covers, man. I love let's see, yeah. Sophie Turner, Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce is David Craven. Now here's the thing. I kind of because I'm gonna put these up. I'm waiting on Kanan. Kanan is working on the Mega Pack cover. So I'm waiting on Kanan to give me the Mega Pack cover, and then I can get the colors on it and everything. And so what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them up. They're going to be a special tier on the Way of the Gun campaign. And, you'll get the cover that was for the Mega Pack, which the theme is supposed to be David versus Dawn. So we're going to do David versus Dawn for the sixth cover that we haven't revealed yet. So it's like David versus Dawn. Anybody that bought the Mega Pack will get that. But I'm also going to do for people that back these Manasseh Johnson covers because they're only 5. So yeah, and I only printed 100 of these covers. And yeah, Manasseh did. Like I said, I almost, I was talking about it. It's like I almost don't want to give these up. I love the way the art turned out, especially like you said, the Snoop. Let me pull it. The Snoop one. I just love. I mean, the way Snoop looks like. I mean, look at the face on that. I mean, he's got the cane and all that. We got all this stuff. So these little packages will come with. It'll come with obviously the original sketch cover that you purchased, and then they'll come with the Mega Pack cover that you can only get in the Mega Pack. It'll come in the this, and you'll get a copy of the Fame book. So that way you'll have everything, and then. Yeah, so like I said, I'm a big Goldberg mark. So yeah, Goldberg, Bill Goldberg, and then I thought the one, but yeah, I don't know if I thought he did the most detail on this one because that really does look like Peter Dinklage. I mean, my God, that really captured the likeness of Peter Dinklage. And the Sophie Turner one, I actually thought I might keep this one, but I don't know. I'm trying to, from a business sense, I need to, but I just love the way he did. Look at how the eyes are and all that. It's just I like how he did that. So, yeah. So, let me go down. Let's see. I didn't expect this many people. I was like, I'm just going to run my mouth for a minute. And nobody will come here. Let me see. And let's see. Hello, before Tyson never hit again. I don't know. This is the whole Tyson. Oh man, yeah. Oh, I know. Mike Tyson definitely just getting a paycheck. I know. Trust me, because it just looks like it's a joke. That's one thing about AEW. Sometimes I don't know if they take their business seriously, and that's why they were embarrassed because someone already made a meme of it when Mike Tyson is yawning at the pay-per-view. He's sitting there watching their match, and he's like. I actually tweeted it at Jim Ross the other day. He was talking about someone was goofing on. There's that old footage of him and Jerry Lawler, and they were at a show, and they both fell asleep on the air. And he said, "Oh, I wasn't asleep." And Jerry Lawler said he wasn't asleep, but you got footage of it. And Jerry Lawler sitting there going, it looked like he was out. And people was goofing on them for that. And that must have happened 10, 15 years ago, but. Anything's a meme. So they took that and, someone tweeted that at JR, and then I tweeted at him the Mike Tyson, yawning at their Double or Nothing pay-per-view this weekend. So this is, it's it. Omar Benson Miller as your hero character. That's the big dude. Yeah, Ballers. He was also he played what? Didn't he play Suge Knight in? I know he's been in a couple. I just see him in. I see him in these little movies and stuff. But I thought he played. Suge in like the Biggie movie or something like that. I know he's been. He always they always get him. But I love Ballers. That last season was a little whack though. I got to be honest. Ballers last season was. It was time to go. And they said The Rock was trying to get him to pick him back up again for one more season. And yeah, that last season was whack, man. I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it at all. It was just it was time for him to go. It's like I think I gave that's the thing. I gave Manasseh a couple of different photo references. And Bones was definitely kind of a look that I was going for, because I like the way Snoop's hair was, all that kind of thing. I like the way his hair was kind of flowing, and that he had his hair like pressed and laid out, and I thought that he gave the right look. Obviously, we had to have the pimp cane and all that kind of thing. So, I thought he would. I didn't see anybody else to play Fame. Like if I was casting a movie with for Brand, he would have to be Fame. I think that would, I would like, please get him. If not, I'd have to get a Snoop impersonator or something. I don't know. But let's see. I know that it's all new to us, the audience, but I feel like AEW loses something by only putting out Cam. I think it'll get better again when once they are able to start having more people. That's one thing about wrestling. I've been to like some indie shows. You gotta have a crowd, man. And they made WWE change some of their stuff, because WWE was just like, okay, we're just gonna have the announcers, and then like the in-ring, got the commentator, the in-ring announcer, and then the talent in the ring, and then that's gonna be it, and maybe a medical personnel. They'll have like a doctor by the ring just in case somebody gets hurt, and that's all they would have. And it really gave a very cold feeling to the show. And then AEW was like, well, let's get, they were doing some shows in the Atlanta area, and that QT guy, I think it was he has a gym where he trains wrestlers. So he was like, hey, let's have some of my students in there and stuff. So it kind of, they weren't fans, but at least they were actual humans and they could react to things. And it made the show a lot better, because I was like, you can hear that kind of thing. So you kind of get that So that's what it is. So I think you need humans to be able to react to what you're doing. Let me see. So we turn in the night. Yeah, I've seen, they got the photos of her now, because she's pregnant. She's like 3-4 months pregnant now. She married to Joe Jonas of the Jonas Brothers, and so so she's doing her thing. Right. Salute to Skits Comics. Skits Comics, how are you? Skits Comics. All right. How you doing? Let's see. Goldberg is still acting. Bill Goldberg was on NCI. He's also, doesn't he also has like appearances on the Goldberg show, that sitcom. Yeah. I know he plays the dude's like cousin or older brother or something. Like I've seen, he's been on there like 3 or 4 times. I've noticed they bring him in there, and matter of fact, I follow him on Instagram, and sometimes he'll be like, I'm on the set of the Goldbergs, and they'll have him do, although that was a couple months ago. I don't know. There's not too many shows actually able to film like these movies and stuff that were supposed to be shooting this summer, because of everything going on. They've been kind of put on hold. And, that's why, like, I used to watch The Blacklist all the time, and I saw some of their season finale. They actually had to do animation. They did the scenes that they had already shot, and then they cut like some animated scenes in there. It's interesting. I haven't sat through the whole thing yet, because I got there's a lot of times I'm watching that stuff while I'm sitting here trying to put these boxes together. So this is what it was. Okay, so we have a troll in the chat now. Yeah, he wasn't the only one. I know Boogie embarrassed me last night on the Wrestling Council, and it just it just wasn't wasn't very good. I started watching Ballers before the last season. It died for me after. Yeah, they just they got in a place where they just didn't understand the direction they wanted to go. And I'm a big fan of The Rock, but it just they didn't know where they were going. So especially like that last season, like I said, that last season, maybe even the season before, but definitely the last season, I was like, it's not very good. I know what I tell you what I do watch on HBO is what the Righteous Gemstones. I thought the Righteous Gemstones is hilarious. I'm looking. I know they got picked up for another season. What's the guy that what's it? Danny McBride. You know, he's Danny McBride's hilarious. But the Righteous Gemstone about that the minister and his little spoiled bratty kids. It kind of looked like it was a take on like Jim Baker and what was the PTL club. And my mom used to love Jim Baker. You know, the PTL. She used to watch that stuff all the time. And Jim Baker had such influence on America at that time. I remember in the 80s, and the cameras would span out, and there would be thousands of people that it's like, I mean, they're still doing these big mega ministry shows. Like what's the guy, what's it, Joel Oswood or Osmond? Joe, and I'm saying his name wrong, but I've seen him, and that dude, his church is big, and when they do the TV show and stuff, man. I mean, they get all. I mean, that's where Kanye West. I remember Kanye West was hanging out with him. I was sitting there going, okay, yeah, that dude's got a big. I don't know. Sometimes I get skeptical about that because you have such a large audience that it starts to become. My mom went to Nashville, and Benny Hinn was up there at the. He was at the Bridgestone Arena, and they had that thing packed. There must have been 15,000 people in there. So because he's coming to tape a show, and they actually let my mom come on stage and stuff. She gave him like $100. I mean, we barely got 2 nickels to rub together, and she giving this dude $100. And I said something to I was like, Mom, we got all kind of creditors and stuff, and people, you know, we can't pay our bills. But she always believed in tithing. This is something that was very important to her. And I'm sitting there going, I understand, and trust me, I've been much churches, you know, about doing your tithes and, you know, you sowing your seed or whatever. I get that, but when we're struggling and we can't pay our bills, I was like, don't God want us to be good first before you give the preacher man $100? I'm just saying but she believed. She always talked about sowing seeds. That was just something that it was important to her. So, you know, I couldn't tell her no different. It was just what she believed. So there was what was that other guy? I can't remember. He's always speaking tongues on it. Oh, shut up, blah, blah, blah. You know, he'd be speaking Robert Tilton. That's him. That dude, she sent Robert Tilton hundreds of dollars. And I'm sitting here dealing with, you know, bill collectors. And, you know, it was, I don't know. It was, like I said, it was important to her. You know, it was important to her. So, Fat Annie, morning, Antonio. Well, morning. How are you? You know, it's good to see you. Let's see. What about Jim Cornette really shitted on AEW? So, oh yeah, I've listened to that podcast 3 times now. And matter of fact, when I get back to packing, I'm gonna load it up again because it was pretty funny. He tore you know, Double or Nothing, the new one. So let's see. Gilbert is apparently still doing it. Yeah, I thought he's about to retire though. I thought they said that he was wanting. I thought Gilbert said that he wanted Goldberg to actually retire him. I thought I saw that because he was like, I'm still in decent shape, but he wanted to come in as a kind of as a LARP and like have Goldberg whooping, but I don't think Vince went for it because the appearance fees that they were having to pay Bill Goldberg were insane just for those couple appearances he did before WrestleMania. I mean, they said that Vince had to pay him, you know, just for those few shows, about $700,000 or so just to do like 3 shows because he flew over to where they did the Super Showdown show, beat the Fiend. Then he showed up on SmackDown 2 times, and then he did WrestleMania, and that was it. and he got like $700, almost $800,000 for that. So, so that's it. See, do City Hell Comics Get Hell War campaign. Well, hello. All right, definitely. Let's see. What about I Can't Believe the Blacklist is still on the air? That's another show. Yeah, I just didn't have time. I was working too, but I love the Blacklist. I don't think the quality on the Blacklist has dropped down. It's just that I just didn't have time. And I got to be honest, the one thing that did piss me off about the Blacklist, they kept dragging that storyline out about is Raymond Reddington the girl's father. And it's like, he's your father. No, is he your father? It is like real mysterious. And then he gets hurt and they take his blood sample. Oh, he is your father. And then they go, well, even though that was his blood and it showed that he was your father, he's not really your father, but he's a relation. He's a relative of yours. And your real father is still dead. They got so confusing with it. And then I was like, okay. And then your mom's a Russian agent and then she's dead. And now she's really not dead. But she's like, some of that stuff, and then the stuff with her husband, she got married to that dude that was the spy or whatever, and then he died, and then they gave him, I see he's got that show where he's playing a doctor on NBC now. It's like that whole thing got confusing, and I didn't get it. So I was like, okay. I was like, when they load everything up on Netflix, I'll binge watch it and just get through the rest of it. Let's see. What about? I saw Danny McBride. The Vices or whatever. Yeah, him and what's the other dude? I can't remember that guy's name. I love him. He was on Justified, and he was also on Sons of Anarchy too. Man, he played that transgender woman on Justified. That was crazy. It was to see him because every show he's on. He was in Ant-Man and the Wasp too. He was the bad guy in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I can't remember that. Was it Wade Boggins? I think. Yeah, Wade Boggins. I think that's his name. But he was on Justified, and I love he was the first thing I ever saw him in. It was a movie called The Apostle with what's the guy? He was in The Godfather and all that. Man, you guys got to help me because Robert Duvall and Robert Duvall had the movie The Apostle, and that was like one of the first movies he ever that Wade Boggs was ever in. Not Wade Boggs. That's the baseball player Walter Goggins. That's him. Walter Goggins. That's it. Walter Goggins was in The Apostle. He's very young. It's weird because I watched The Apostle like 5 or 10 times, and it's weird to see him. But yeah, Walter Goggins was in Justified, which I still think that show still holds up. It's on Amazon. And sometimes I'll watch that. I just put shows on and I'll just pack, So I'm sitting there and just let them play while I'm packing and stuff. So, but that is one. Even though I've seen Justified. It's one of those, that I still like. Let me see. Coach Lewis said, do you see AEW picking up any of the laid off WWE guys, or is cash flow going to be? I do see them adding Zack Ryder, although they've come out and actually said that they weren't interested in picking him up at this time. I'm saying that because Zack Ryder was just on the Jericho podcast, and it seems to be a thing. When someone gets released from WWE, they show up on the Jericho podcast, and then all of a sudden they mysteriously show up on AEW. So they just had him and Kurt Hawkins, what's his name, Brian Myers. So yeah, Matt Cardona, he is going to be, I think he's going to, it's pretty clear, just like they just had FTR on the Jericho podcast, and they were like, well, I mean, we definitely think highly of AEW, but there's other places we want to go. We want to maybe look at Japan, maybe, wrestling some, Ring of Honor and all this, and all of a sudden they're on AEW. So, even though they were saying that they weren't sure if they wanted to sign. So, like I said, I think that the fact that Zack Ryder was just on the Jericho podcast means that he's going to be on AEW Dynamite. Let's see. Oh yeah, Joe Osteen, that's him. Yeah, and like I said, Joe Osteen. Those TV preachers are a part of the entertainment industry. I can't stand them. Well, I said something to my mom, and she actually got mad. Like I said, it was very important for her practicing her faith. She really believed it didn't matter how broke. I'm telling you, we grew up dirt poor. We were broke. Do you understand what I'm saying? We was on food stamps and stuff, and she was still trying to find $20 or something to put in the church. And I'm sitting on you having to borrow money to put in your gas tank, and you putting $20 in the church. Put that 20 in your, it's like, well, if you don't bless the Lord, He's not gonna bless you. She was, that's one thing I will say. Black folks, especially in the South, man, we get that religion, and it just kind of leads you. It doesn't matter. You let that guide you, even sometimes to your detriment. That was something me and my mom used to argue about all the time. I was just like, we don't have any food. We're broke. You're having to go into the food bank and get a box of food to bring back. We're drinking powdered milk and eating powdered eggs and stuff like that. All that USDA stuff. I ate the government cheese and the government peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? I did that for years. We were struggling, and then dipping off and giving $20 to the preacher man. And I'm like, my mom. Anybody out here that's watching me, like, there's a great movie. It was Steve Martin, Leap of Faith. Watch that movie. I thought he should have got nominated for an Oscar for that movie. My mom, I was watching that movie, and my mom got mad at it because she was like, oh, he's just because someone, celebrates the Lord is not. But I mean, this character was set up as a fake. He's doing fake healers and all that. And then obviously you see the end and certain things happen and it kind of changes things. But I thought that movie was executed beautifully. And I don't think some people don't like Steve Martin as a serious actor. I thought he was brilliant in that. They said he based that character on Benny Hinn. And like I said, my mom actually went to see Benny Hinn. Benny Hinn, my mom actually met Benny Hinn. They actually let her go up on stage, and they did the miracle, the faith healing and all that kind of stuff. My mom believed in that stuff. And I don't know, man. Oh my God. The whole thing's, like I said, I love my mother. We just didn't agree on that. Yeah. Let's see. Walter Goggins, he was also in Hateful Eight. Yeah. I remember that. That's one of the few Tarantino movies. I don't know if you Hateful Eight. I love Tarantino movies. I thought Hateful Eight was just all right. I need to see the new one, the one with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. I've heard that's a banger. Although the way they bitched out Bruce Lee, I know his family was not happy about the way they did Bruce Lee in that movie. And I saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had wrote an article for the Hollywood Reporter because obviously Bruce Lee was a mentor and a friend of his, and he just did not like the way they portrayed Bruce Lee in this movie. What was it? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I want to see it because, like I said, I've seen all of Tarantino's movies. I've seen, and I mean everything. I remember every time I seen Tarantino was going to be somewhere, if I found out he was in something, I try to watch it. I remember he showed up on Alias. I don't know if you guys ever remember that old J.J. Abrams TV show Alias. He even made a guest appearance on Alias. It was supposed to be a multi-part, and I think he only shot one, and they just wrote the storyline out or something because he wasn't in. He refused to join the Directors Guild of America. So all of a sudden he's on, you do motion pictures and stuff like that. A lot of times he would shoot his independent stuff and they have unions and stuff. And he wouldn't, he didn't want to join any of those unions. So a lot of people were like, whoa, why you got this guy in here? And he's not wanting to be part of the union. And I know George Lucas didn't want to be part of the Directors Guild for a long time. I've heard him talk about that. And that's one of those things. See, Justified was awesome. Yeah, I love Justified. Justified was incredible. Yeah. Oh yeah, Walter. Yeah, he was on The Shield. Vic Mackey and he was great on The Shield. But yeah, so let me rewind that. So the first time I saw him was still in The Apostle. And then he did The Shield, and then he did Justified, and he was also on Sons of Anarchy at that time. So I'm like, yeah, he was great. But he was very funny on Sons of Anarchy. And he was funny on Vice. Then him and Danny McBride, and then they made him Baby Billy because him and Danny McBride, those dudes, they love each other. So he had got cast as Baby Billy in The Righteous Gemstones. And I was like, he had me in tears. He looked like a lot of those old ministers that my mom used to watch these TV ministers on Sunday. I couldn't touch the TV. I'd be wanting to play Nintendo. My mama would get up early and she would watch Ernest Angley. She would watch, what's the guy? Oh my God, I have sinned against you. Oh man, what's his name? I can't remember. Falwell. Was it Jerry Falwell? No. She watched him too, but it was what's that guy's name? I remember he broke into prime. He got caught out there with the hooker. I remember I was like, man, what's that dude's name? I know him and he's cousins with his cousin is Jerry Lee Lewis and what's the other guy? Mickey Gilley. And they all grew up in like the Memphis area and everything. So I can't remember that dude's name, man. That's gonna drive me nuts. I'll have to look it up when I get done. Justified was great. Timothy Oliphant is the closest that. Man, I'm like, yeah, there you go. Let's see. That's the opposite of the way the church. Again, my mom. I felt like, my mom's faith was very important to her. I think that's, some people have asked me about, Brand, because you'll see a lot of religious symbology in the book. And, obviously the character Vargas, he's got the religious garb on. And I think a lot of that is just the stuff that me and my mom disagreed. Me and my mom used to have some very passionate arguments. It's not that I don't have faith. It's not that I don't trust religion. I don't always trust organized religion. And I think as we go along with Brand, some of that, maybe some of my cynicism is going to come out. The thing I told my mom, and I always remember this conversation, I was like, once the church started taking MasterCard and Visa, it kind of lost its way a little bit. And I would watch Benny Hinn on television. My mom would be watching, she'd be watching TBN, Trinity Broadcast Network. She'd be watching that, right? So this dude is on TV and he's in one of these megas. He's doing stadiums. He's doing these big places that hold 15, 20,000 people. He's doing these mega, and then he's going over to Africa and there's like 10,000 people over there. And they're passing the plate around and they got donation slips in there where you can write your credit card number. I was like, that's scary to me that the church is like, we accept MasterCard and Visa. Please put your MasterCard number. And I was like, okay, that you're running this like a business. It's like, trust me, I've met a lot of good, solid, decent religious folks. But once you start passing the plate around and telling, hey, we can Cash App me that money. You can send it via Cash App. We'll take PayPal. Whatever you need to do to send it. And they got the number flashing on the screen. Call right now if you want to call and give us your credit card number. We'll take the donate. And you hear how much of that money is raised on these broadcasts. They're getting thousands and thousands of dollars just from being able to broadcast on television. And it's all obviously tax-free because they're able to claim the tax shield that is, being a religious organization. So I don't know. Some of that stuff is kind of scary. Let's see. Didn't they catch me here? How Mel would have been? Oh no. I need to look. I know that he's been investigated by the feds a few times. I'm talking about, but they were looking into it because all the money he raised. When you raise that much money and you don't have to pay taxes, I remember he was on 60 Minutes and they asked him, they were like, Mr. Hinn, why do you have to have a private jet? because he bought a private jet, but it's not his private jet. Oh, it's not my private jet. It's the church's jet. And they have they showed it. The 60 Minutes piece was really good because he had it's a big ass home. He had a nice home, right? And he was like, I don't own this home. The church provides it for me. So basically you set yourself up where you don't have, matter of fact, they even did this with Malcolm X. Malcolm X had a nice home, but it wasn't owned by him. Malcolm X was living in a home that was actually owned by the Nation of Islam. So that they could give, the car you're driving, oh, I don't own this car. It belongs to the church. So you don't actually own, you're driving around in a car and living in a nice house, but it actually belongs to the religious organization. So that when Malcolm left, then yeah, that belongs to the nation. That kind of thing. So Benny Hinn is balling with this 2-story house and it's got all these rooms. Oh, I don't own this house. The church owns it. That kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh no, I need. They asked him why he had to have a private jet, and he's like, well, these shows that I do, I have to, when I go out and I preach, I'm preaching the word of the Lord to the masses, and I need to be well rested. Sometimes when you get on, a public flight, there's people going around and all this thing. He's like, I need to give my audience the best show that I can give them. I need them to be able to hear me, and I need to be well rested. So he needs a private plane so that when he gets, so he can sleep on the plane and be, get himself nice and relaxed so that, he can, minister the word of the Lord. And I thought, and I was like, bullshit, bullshit. I thought, that whole deal. So I just thought, I was like, you living in that fat ass house and you got your people set it up where it's a tax write-off. That's a hustler like the drug game. I'm just being, that's probably going to be controversial, but I'm like, that's a hustle just like the drug game. You know what I'm saying? You hustling religion like I'm slanging crack. It's that kind of deal. Let's see. What about I liked Hateful Eight. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was just okay. Well, I haven't seen that one yet, but I watch all the Tarantino's movies. I enjoy them. Let me see here. Hateful Eight was obviously just a vehicle for Quentin Tarantino to make Kurt Russell say the N word. Well, that's actually why him and Denzel Washington got into some kind of heated debates on that, because they had brought Tarantino in to do some script rewrites on Crimson Tide, and Denzel Washington got very upset at Tarantino because he felt like Tarantino likes to sprinkle the N-word in there quite a few times. And if you watch Tarantino's movies, he does that. And he makes sure that word is peppered in there. Matter of fact, but I was laughing at Django. They actually counted Django how many times the N-word was said in Django, and he broke records in that movie. And people got mad about that, but I love Django. I thought Django was a great movie. I thought Django, some people got triggered by Django, but I love Django. I thought Django was great. I think Tarantino's a gifted writer. That's I think let's see, Jim Baker and Tammy. Well, yeah, Jim Baker and Tammy Faye had the PTL, but there was another one, not Ernest Angley. He's the guy that got caught with the hook. The Inquirer magazine busted him, and he was one of the biggest TV preachers on the planet. Let me see, Jim Baker. Yeah, Jim Baker. I remember. Let me see. I feel that the Vatican is sitting on tons of gold and not helping Italian hospitals and stuff. That's what I'm saying. They say that the Vatican has enough money on its own. Hell, they got a bank. They say the Vatican has so much money. These religious organizations are able to raise so much money, man. Let's see. Malcolm X was a hero. It's like, but yeah, that's why I always a friend of Bobby Brown said he banged. Oh man, he got Tammy Faye, man. That's crazy. Let me see. Oh, hey, Ethan, I didn't know you were here. Hey, man, how you doing, brother? All right, good morning. I watched your stream earlier today. Like I said, I've been packing all that. I just wanted to kind of get out and talk to the people I needed to kind of just run my mouth a little bit and kind of take a pause. Yeah, they just got it. Yeah, well, yeah, that was clearly a hit. There's a lot of small churches. Yeah, now see, that's where I was coming back to. It's not, I'm not trying to bang on religion, but I think those bigger mega churches, I feel like some of them have strayed from the path a little bit. Like I said, once you start taking MasterCard and Visa, then you're a business. You're not just a religious organization. I honestly do feel like that. I feel like you're processing and like I said, I'm telling you from personal experience, my mother was giving money that our family did not have to these churches. She was calling the prayer lines when she was watching. I'm telling you this. I know, and me and my mom would have some knockdown, drag out. I was like, we don't have this money. I'm talking to creditors on the phone, because she don't. Hey, I don't have any money right now. You have a major car payment, Miss Sarah. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, so you can't pay your car note, and you're giving these guys $50, $100, and giving it to them over the phone. She's making sure. She's like, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And man, yeah, that whole thing, man. I don't know. Crackhead is more dangerous to the church head. Well, crackhead, yes, but I think I'm more speaking of, I don't know, because like I said, my mom really believed what she was doing was right. And she was so caught up in it that I think it hurt us sometimes when we were struggling to have things. So that's, definitely. I'm not, the preacher's obviously not out there like hustling on the streets and doing that kind of stuff. But I'm saying my mom was so devout that she was willing to spend her last dollar, and even though we didn't have it, she's willing to give money that she couldn't afford to give. And there are a lot of people of faith that are good people, and they believe that way. They're like, I don't have it, but I'm willing to give you my last $20 because I believe that the Lord is going to bless me. And I think, I don't know, I think you should do good things for people. I think you should help people, but don't put yourself in poverty trying to do so. I don't think that's controversial to say that. But at the same point in time, what do I know? But that's why I say I find the subject of religion to be fascinating. Like I said, it's interesting. So that's one of the things. Let's see. They can't even see the path anymore. They in the woods, and that's, like I said. I know my mom. If she didn't believe in anything else, she believed in God. She was a woman. But I will say, I remember when we went to her funeral, there were people I hadn't seen in 25, 30 years, man, and they showed up. That funeral was packed. So I know she touched some people. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot about you how many people are willing to send you home. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, ask yourself an honest question. If you passed away tomorrow, how many people will actually be at your funeral? And, if it was crazy, I remember we showed up and, it was just going to be the family. And then more people showed up, and then more people showed up. And then all of a sudden I was listening to the minister, and I turned around and there was no seating room in the church. And I was like, oh my God. I could not believe how many people showed up, because I was so, I'm grieving. My mother's gone, and, I'm looking at my brother and all this kind of stuff. And I did not realize. And then I turned around and the entire church was full. there was so many people in there. And I was like, okay, well, there might be about 15 people here. And then all of a sudden there's like 80, 100 people. And I was like, wow. I just, man, I couldn't believe it, man. I just, whew, man, it's just, it really, it actually touched my spirit to see it, man. Cause I was like, I can't believe how many people. I was like I said, some of these people, I hadn't seen them. I hadn't seen some of those people in like 20, 25 years. And I was sitting in the front row. They had the family. They got a little place like, hey, we got this area set up for the family. And so we're all sitting there. This man must have been about 78, 90, 70, 78, 79 years old. He barely walking, looked like he kind of got a cataract on his eye and everything. He walking up to me with a cane. And he kind of pokes me. And I look at him, I go, he said, you remember me? And I thought back on it. I looked, and I had to shave like 20 something years off of him or whatever. And I was like, Robert? And he used to date my mom. He used to date my mom like 30 years ago or whatever. I was a little boy. I was like 8, 9 years old. And this dude used to date my mom. And I had seen him since I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old at that point. And he got a little smile on his face because he knew I remembered him. I was like, yeah, because he was in the military and he used to take us. There was an army base. He had his military ID. He'd go to the PX and he would give me and my brother like jungle juices and stuff like that, little candy bars. He would go in there and buy stuff from the PX for us. And I always I remember anybody give me treats. I always remember them fondly. So I was like, oh, that dude used to feed me, that kind of thing. So. Yeah, but I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't try to, like I said, I'm not anti-religion. I do think though that sometimes, and just my personal experience with some of the things that I saw my mom go through, I felt like she was so devout that she was giving money to her own detriment. I think, it was, she wasn't able to pay, that kind of thing. So let's see. What about no one showed up at my funeral and I personally do not care. I will be gone then. And even if I could be there, I wouldn't care. Well, I think, it was like, it's like some of my friends told me when my mom passed, it's like the funeral is not for the person that's gone. It's so that their loved ones can remember them. It's for them. My mom had shoveled off at the mortal coil at that point. And, but like I said, it actually made me feel good to see that so many people came out. Because like when the service first started, there wasn't that many people there. And I was like, okay, well, this is who's coming, and then, 10 more people showed up. And like I said, when I turned around, we was full. I was like, damn, this place is stacked up. And I didn't expect, me and my brother, we were like, wow, that many people showed up for Mom. I was like, man, we were getting choked up thinking about it. I was like, I don't think if I passed away tomorrow that I get some people that would show up. I know certain people that would show up, but yeah, man, this is what it is. Let me see. But yeah, all you guys saying good morning to me. Like I said, I'm happy you're here. I just, like I said, I was just doing this. I've been packing all night trying to get another shipment together. And I just wanted to kind of holler at you guys and see what's going on. And, feel like talk to the chat. Maybe I'll try to do some of these, once or twice a week or so and just kind of chop it up with you guys and see how y'all doing. Because like I said, sometimes just staring at the computer screen and staring at all these boxes and stuff. And I was just like, oh God, okay, let's pack another box. Let's pack. Oh, I was like, oh. Yeah, see, Boogie, I would drive down for your funeral just not to pack boxes. But hopefully I will be here for many, many, many years to come. I hope so anyway. Yeah. Anyway, I think let me see. Hold on. Let me see. David Fee, life's good. Comicsgate exploded yesterday. The nonsense. I think I think we just had an earthquake in Comicsgate. I think that was just a seismic shift. I've been around since 2017 watching these things, and I think these are the little things that kind of it's like you break a bone and then it just heals itself and it grows back stronger. I think that's what Comicsgate represents to me. I think whatever our differences are, I think we all agreed on Comicsgate at least. We may not like each other as individuals, but we all agree on Comicsgate. We all see a problem with mainstream comics, and I think that we all want that problem. We want that problem with the mainstream. We want our characters back. We want all that stuff to be addressed. But at the same point in time, a lot of them were challenging us. It was like, well, why don't you guys write your own stories or do this or whatever? So that's, many of us are now becoming creators. So that is, I still believe this movement has, changed my life. So I'm not going to give up on Comicsgate. I believe in Comicsgate. I just, it's a lot of packing. It's a lot of packing. But yeah, I gotta keep going. And it really, when people tweet at me that they got their packages, that I'm telling you, that's the best feeling in the world. So I went from, are we gonna be able to get the book finished, to getting the book printed, and then the book showing up. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get all these signed and get them shipped out. And it was, there's been so many ups and downs and all that. And yeah, those of you that are supporting Brand Way of the Gun, thank you. And we're getting new backers every day. People getting their books and they're like, hey, okay, well, let's back the next one. So that's what this is. So we'll keep working and get everybody's packages out. That is that's the plan. So yeah, all right. I told you, as always, packing. Let's see. Aaron, I am a big fan of yours. I obviously I bought the jaw. I bought every Jawbreaker. So but big fan of yours. I'm glad you're here. I'd love to stream with you sometime. If I don't know if you stream. I don't think I've ever seen you on any streams. I'd love to stream with you sometime. That would be awesome. But yeah, I love your work. Big fan. I'd been following you on Instagram for a little while, and I saw there was a really cool Batman Bane that you had posted up. It was like at least a year ago, I think. It's like Batman and Bane, and it was like the gargoyle statues and everything. It was incredible, and I'm like drooling over it, man. I was just like, yeah, you're such a talent. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited for your success, and yeah, keep hope alive. But all right, so let me go ahead and close out and get back to doing what I do. But like I said, I just wanted to holler at y'all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Shout out to E, shout out to everybody else, and thank you guys again. Thank you guys. If you supported the first campaign or you supported the Way of the Gun campaign, thank you. Let's keep packing. Let's get these books out to you guys. I really, truly appreciate everything. I'm out.